What's going on, guys? Crucible here, and today we're going to be doing the Bardock deck profile. Now, before I get into it, I've been seeing a lot of discussion about how Bardock should be built. I know that there's some discussion about people building the deck for tournaments around not the Bardock's crew stuff and just using a lot of the GT stuff that came in set 3. And while I don't think that's the wrong way to play it, I just have a different perception of how this deck should be played and how I like to play this deck. And I think not running the Bardock's crew, or at least some of the Bardock's crew stuff, puts a big detriment to what this deck really wants to do, which is relying heavily on combo power. I don't think there's anything wrong with building Bardock that way and relying strictly on his 25k swings, but if I personally wanted to do that, then I would just, if I wanted to steer away from Bardock's crew and just wanted to rely on the set 3 stuff, I would just play Super Saiyan 4 Goku. That being said, though, like, this is, like, there is some stuff here that is gonna have the standard set 3 stuff, and again, this is just my personal play style. There's just been a lot of discussion on my channel and on questions being asked about this deck specifically, so I wanted to at least enlighten that and just say my 2 cents on that. Personally, I think this works better for Bardock than just not running Bardock's crew at all, because you're getting rid of a piece of utility from the leader by not incorporating Bardock's crew stuff in the deck. But we'll go into the breakdown here and just kind of talk about what it is that I'm doing with this deck. So Bardock, he's a 25k pseudo swinger. He swings for 25, but he has 20k on defense. But he draws a card, also gaining that power, and then activate battle your turn once per turn. Look at the top card of your deck, use up to 1 battle card with Bardock's crew, and its special traits in a combo, place the rest at the top or bottom of its owner's deck. So, a lot of people are using this guy strictly for the 25k power and the ability to scry your deck and choose, like, what you're doing. The problem that I see with that personally, and again, this is just my play style and my thought process, is that depending on what, like, this, using his leader ability alone only shows you 1 card from your deck, right? So even if you're not running the Bardock's crew cards in the deck, you're only seeing 1 deck, and that card may or may not really be helping you all that much. You're seeing that effect maybe what? At most, you're maybe using his leader effect maybe what? 10 times at most, maybe? In a match. I can't imagine that once you awaken, the match is going on that long, unless it's like a maybe a mirror match, maybe. But scrying 1 card and maybe shuffling it to the bottom of your deck, like, isn't all that beneficial when your deck is built up to be 52, 53, 51 cards in deck. Maybe getting to a card faster every turn, like, is like, to me that's not fast enough. So I like to utilize his leader ability to actually be able to see what's on my deck, or on top of my deck, and use whatever is there in a combo, rather than just using it to filter my deck to try and find pieces that I need later on. That's why we run 2 of the field card, the Lonesome Final Battle. You switch it to rest mode, and then you can look at the top 2 cards, and then place them at the top or bottom as you see fit. This makes the deck work a little bit faster. It allows you to see more of your pieces, especially your Bardock pieces for me, and how I play the deck. And so that allows me to pull off that scrying potential, that combo potential that this card does. I only run 2, mainly because you do want to use a lot of the stuff in set 3 in this deck to kind of help, you know, do the things that Black wants to kind of do. And the Bardock's crew stuff, like, I understand people not wanting to incorporate the Bardock's crew stuff. It does limit the deck in terms of how you want it built. But that being said, I don't see there any reason or any harm in incorporating some Bardock's crew to at least get some use out of this. Like, a lot of people play Bardock. I've seen a lot of people play Bardock where they use the leader effect and they just hope and pray that they get a 10 cost that they can use as a combo piece, and, like, if they do, great. If not, it's not that big of a deal. I personally want to see those pieces. And we'll go into the net of it. I'm just kind of reiterating the same stuff over and over again, but let's kind of get into the rest of what the deck is doing. So In terms of Bardock's crew pieces, we'll just go over these first. Fasha, can't trip, very self-explanatory. She's Bardock's crew, so if I pull her off the top of my deck, it's an extra 5k combo, which is great. This card is also great when it comes to using this card. This is the promo Bardock. He's a 2-cost, 15k power, 10k combo. When this card is in a battle and you have a card in your combo area, he gains 5,000 power. And he's also a Self-Awakener. So Self-Awakening for this deck is great because you want to start scrying your deck as fast as you possibly can. But also, if you're able to find a 10k Bardock's crew card, then this guy becomes a 30k swinger for only 2 energy. Now, in most matchups when someone is attacking into this guy, I'm probably not defending it, even though he will get that extra 5,000. There's just no benefit to doing that for somebody who's only 15k. Especially if you're being swung into with 25k power stuff, 30k power stuff. Like, it doesn't make sense to really combo and defend this guy on board. So this is one of those cards where, like, if you get a swing or 2 off of him and you get the combo potential to get him up to 30, great. But he's not worth keeping around on board, in my opinion. I would rather use this guy in the ladder game for maybe a cheap... Maybe I want to play this guy for cheap and just swing into the leader for 30k, offering a little bit of extra pressure. Maybe I want to just use this guy for the 10k combo on defense. It really is situational with this guy, but this guy's great as a Self-Awakener, and after you awaken, if you still have one like on board, being able to swing for potentially 30 is great. Then we got Shugesh and Borgos. These guys are, I think, crucial, or part of the crucial build if you want to go this route. They're 10k combos. You're almost never playing Borgos on turn 1 to swing for 10k. He's strictly here for the combo potential of Bardock. Shugesh, you could maybe get some use out of this guy playing him for 2, swinging for 20k, maybe 30 if you find a 10k combo piece. Shugesh isn't as bad as Borgos. But again, once again, the majority of the time you have other stuff you want to kind of play that's better for black than these guys. So these guys are more so here for the combo power than none else. But sometimes you might get a cheap swing with Shugesh here. Other Bardock's crew stuff, the dual attack Bardock here, where once per turn when you use a card in a combo while this card's in a battle, draw 1 card, then switch this card to active mode. This card's great. I would maybe argue that this guy is a little bit better in Super Saiyan 4 Goku rather than Bardock, but the fact that he's able to swing for twice, and if you build this Bardock around his leader effect to get that free combo, this guy's great. Being able to swing for 30 on the first swing and then an additional 20 after is great. And you don't have to replace a card in hand to get this effect to go off, which is also really cool. And so you're basically netting +1 a card in hand, is really good. Plus on defense, you can combo into this guy from hand if you wanted to, and you're just replacing the card in hand for combo. So I think synergy-wise, this guy has better synergy with the Bardock leader if you can get that free combo off of the leader effect. But I think this guy is still better in Super Saiyan 4, just because Super Saiyan 4 can make him a 35k swinger twice. Off that leader ability. And then you combo a 5 or you combo a 10 to make him a 45k on the first swing. But no, this guy's really good. He's Bardock's crew as well, so he's a combo piece for the deck as well. We also got the Grade 8 Bardock. Sometimes this guy has come in clutch for me on a couple of occasions. Sometimes if I don't have my secret rare, sometimes I do just play this guy for 30k, for a 30k swing. Going up to 40k if I get the free proc from the leader. Very cool card. I really need that the Great Apes are getting Bardock crew support as well. Maybe set 4, there might be some more Bardock's crew support and it's more Great Ape potential. Well, we'd have to see. We'll have to see. But yeah. Then we have the Double Striker, obviously, for Bardock's crew. Combo 2 cards. He is able to KO something off your opponent's board that's problematic. Really, really good. The only time that I've had issues with this guy, I think, is against Jiren, and that's more so for the fact that you got to kill the SR Jiren twice. This guy's able to get one of those KOs, but like your opponent's really just going to defend that SR Jiren as hard as they possibly can. So like having double of these might be beneficial, but yeah, I run 3. I mean, this is a strong card. This is easily the best double striker in the game. There's no question about it. But in certain matchups, in certain matchups like Jiren, when there's a Jiren on board, he can not. There's times where he might not be able to capitalize on that. But that's all the Bardock's crew stuff. Let's go over some of the generic stuff and kind of go over the stuff from set 3 that kind of really elevates this deck. You got Para Brothers. Para is a really good card. For one, you're able to freeze something and they can't attack during their next turn. Really good to put this on double strikers. Really good in the green with double strikers, Broly, Cell, those big swingers that kind of go in. Also freezing like the dual attackers is really good. This doesn't really matter much into Jiren. Jiren kind of wants to stay in rest mode anyway, so but I guess it doesn't keep him in rest mode. It just doesn't swing him. So I mean, this is actually pretty good for Jiren too, I guess, since he can't get the swing off with Jiren, and you can't use his effect if he's not in rest mode. So that's actually, this card's really good. Needs to be used on a marker, so we have some stuff in the deck here that allows us to get our markers back. So keep that in mind. We got 3 Hercules. He's basically Pilaf in black. If you have the energy marker, you can pick one non-Hercule GT card with a cost of 1 or less from drop, put it in hand. Really good card. This just goes to show how strong Pilaf is as a card and why I think Pilaf should probably be limited in some capacity. But that's a discussion for another day, for a blue discussion video of some sort. This guy's really good. There's a reason why Pilaf is as good as he is. There's a reason why this guy is as good as he is in black. Just being able to recur some extra combo power, maybe a card that maybe a card that you need. Like this guy's able to get the field back if a field gets destroyed. This guy's able to get extra cards back. This guy's able to get there's no restriction on this guy except pulling himself. So like this, he's actually pretty versatile in terms of what you can grab from drop. Then we got 3 Kakarots. I'm choosing to run 3 because there's 2 uses that we use this card for. There's only 2. Well, maybe technically 3. 1, we're using him on turn 1 when we do not have an energy marker. Getting an energy marker back for 1 is pretty good. The second reason we use this guy is for scrying potential. Sometimes, depending on if you when you swing and you use the field card, there is possibilities and times where you may not find your Bardock's crew stuff on the top 2 cards of your deck. And so sometimes, rather than me hoping and praying that if I bottom deck the 2 cards from the top, rather than me hoping and praying that I'm going to get a Bardock's crew card from the top of my deck, maybe I'll play this guy for 1, and I'll put a Bardock's crew in my hand on top so that it guarantees 1. It's not often that I use that ability, but sometimes it does come in handy. Sometimes you want that little bit of extra 10k power and potential, especially if you have, you know, this guy on board. Having this guy on board and not having that free combo potential. Sometimes you may not want to necessarily combo something out of hand. Like sometimes getting that marker back and scrying something onto the top of your deck might be beneficial. And even sometimes there might be something in hand. Maybe you have 3 of your double strikers and you don't need 3 double strikers. So taking this guy out of your hand and putting him maybe on the bottom of your deck or the top of your deck to draw him next turn might not be the worst thing to do. And then obviously combo power. Like he's a 5k combo, so he's not like completely dead in hand. But yeah, there's only 3 things I use this for, which is why I don't run the full playset. You don't really need this guy in Bardock, but I use him just on the off chance that things may not be going my way on curve, and I may not be able to find pieces when I want to combo. But yeah, so then we got 2 pans. I want to incorporate more of this pan into this deck. Just because Jiren is a thing, and she's really the only answer to Jiren right now in this deck, or in any black deck, really. She's the only thing with, like, hard removal for SR Jiren. So, but she's a Self-Awakener, which is great. You pay an energy, you can draw a card, and if that thing you removed to draw was an energy marker, you can bounce a 4 cost or less back to hand. Really good on the SR Jiren. Really good on the secret rares. Just having a little bit of extra control of what's on your opponent's board is always nice. Plus, you're drawing a card out of it too. So, I mean, Pan's just a really good card for black, all in all. Then we're running 4 of the Super Saiyan 3 Gokus. So, very self-explanatory, 25k power. He's a Self-Awakener, can get the marker back if you don't have it. Playing this guy on turn 2 when you have the marker is such a good play. It's such a good play. Because you're basically playing him for almost free at that point. You're paying him for 2 energy instead of 3, technically, and you're getting that that marker back anyway off play. Very strong card. Really good staple in black. Then we're running only 3 of the secret rare. Now, I think you should be running 4 of the secret rare in both black decks. The problem being, though, is that due to how the client works, I only have 3 secret rares. 3 of this Bardock, or 3 of the Super Saiyan 4 secret rare may not necessarily be bad in Bardock, because you want to be able to have more pieces for the leader effect than not. And I can't tell you how many times off the leader effect I've pulled this guy, and it's really like a bummer to have. Now, obviously, if I pull this guy off my leader effect and I see it, I'm going to put it back on the top because I want to be able to draw this the following turn. But he does kind of bloat the deck a little bit in terms of what the deck itself wants to be doing. But either way, like, running a playset of these guys is really good in any black deck. If you don't have an energy marker, he recurs the energy marker every single turn, which is great. And then every time you use the marker, you also are able to draw a card. So having 2 or even 3 of these guys on board at one time, like, really bulks up your hand and allows you to play a bit more defensively while you kind of do what you need to do. So, really cool card. This is probably the best secret rare in the game, by far. It's the only secret rare in the game I think you ever run a 4 of. Then super combos, we use Grandpa Gohan because Grandpa Gohan is awesome. Without him, we would not have Goku. So, yeah, we give love to Grandpa Gohan. He's awesome. Then I've been running the 2 of the 10 times Kamehameha. This card does come in clutch on occasion. This card's really good into red. Can be pretty decent into blue. Probably not used much in green except for maybe Piccolo. You might be running this in Piccolo a little bit, depending on how that Piccolo deck is built. But pretty good into black too, because you're running mostly 3 costs. And then yellow is also really good too. Yeah, I was trying to think of the color. But yeah, no, 10 times Kamehameha is a great extra card. Being able to KO 1 2 costs or less, or with marker 2 3 costs or less, is really strong. Really good card. And we're able to get this back with Hercule, so if we need to continue doing that, it's a nice option to have. So that's my deck list. That's my profile. Again, like, I like to use leaders for their effects. And again, while some people build this Bardock deck with strictly GT set 3 stuff and not really any of the Bardock's crew stuff, like, I respect it. I think that there is an avenue and a reason to do that. I personally just like to be able to have that ability, and that ability has come in clutch. You guys have come to the live streams. You've seen some of the plays with Bardock. You've seen some of my plays with Bardock. Like, I think the deck is efficient in what it's supposed to do, and that's to help give you some extra combo power, utilizing the Bardock's crew to its maximum potential, and kind of playing around that. But yeah, I mean, and again, this deck is a bit, I mean, black is really reliant on the double striker anyway, so it's more so your end game is going to be double striker than anything else. But again, it's one of those things where, like, if you can get that free combo off, that's one less card you have to take out of hand, and that card that you would take in that you would use as combo out of hand might save your life down the line. It might keep you from getting killed right off the bat. So it's one of those things where, like, I utilize the offensive capability of this to kind of keep the pressure up on my opponent. So that's the deck profile, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you guys think. Obviously, I think there's a lot of mixed feelings about the Bardock deck. I think people want to play it one way, other people want to play it another way, and I think either way is fine. But what do you guys think? What do you guys prefer to play Bardock as? Let me know down in the comments below. If you guys enjoyed, hit that subscribe button, like the video, and I'll see you guys all in the next video. Peace.